Hey y'all, look, I am super duper late on this recap slash review because I'm just gonna be honest, my cable got cut off like on Thursday. So I had to wait until my check deposited today to pay the bill. So that's why we are late. I usually like to do this review the night of because I like to get it out the way while it's fresh. And yeah, so I apologize for that. I mean, it's inflation. It's hard times sometimes, but we are back, okay? So this is episode 4. I took a lot of notes down on this one. So we start off with Kimmy and Tisha talking, and then Destiny comes, and so they basically, Kimmy was pretty much doing most of the talking, where she was basically telling what's that girl's name, Destiny, that they had a talk with Sunni and trying to get her like perspective, her, what she had going on with the relationship, and her, what's the word I'm looking for, it's real late, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, so excuse me if my brain's a little fried. I think I'm half asleep. Her side of the story, that's what I was trying to say about. And she, of course we all know Sunni was still kind of defensive and stuff. But Destiny let us know that even after Sunni was let go as a producer, which I thought she was still, I didn't know she was let go. I thought maybe she just left on her own, but let go means fired. But she said her and Sunni still text saying, hey sis, love you sis. And so, but you talk to Sunni and she's making it seem like they're just associates. She just was producer on the show and that's it. So this is obviously a situation where somebody thinks they're more friends than the other person. I personally think Sunni is saying that she wasn't really cool with Destiny to justify her being with Destiny's ex. That's what I think. I think that's where all that defense comes from, because it's easier to say, well, me and her weren't friends or nothing, so what I did wasn't bad or whatever, versus saying, well, yeah, we were cool a little bit, we hung out sometimes, and now I'm with her ex-dude. And I think that's why she was defensive on Carlos's podcast, because she just came out the gate like that, even more so than Moses. I just own up to it. All right, that's how I feel on that. And then they get on the topic of Stormy, and Tisha was telling Kimmy, if she can apologize to Marcel, because Stormy was cutting up, calling Marcel all kinds of B's, like more than once, right? So she's like, if she can, but Stormy kind of have a mouth, and she's admitted to that. So I don't know if, Tisha, I don't know, girl, if you talking about, well, if Stormy, she don't get smart, I think that's just bound to happen, especially if Marcel's around, because Marcel's just the type of person, I feel like he has a good heart, but I could see people getting smart with him, because he kind of does have a condescending attitude with the way he talks to you. So moving on from that, Martell and Nail meet up. And Nail was telling him that she starts off with, I don't agree with you going to jail, but she said then she was talking about how Melody was telling her he was going to throw out revenge porn. Of course, he's denying it. He's talking about it was just a picture, but it's like, you went to jail though. What was on this picture? Like, you sent something. You sent a still shot of her naked. We can see her face. It had to have been. Because they're not going to send you to jail for threatening to send a foot or something, or a shoulder, But that's the thing about Martell. He will deny all the way to the sky, honey. I've never seen somebody like this dude. And he does this thing where he was saying, well, I was telling her, quit bullying me, and he had it in a text. And it's funny because, not funny, haha, but like funny because I know I have someone in my life who does that. Like, they will make sure they text something to make it look like I'm doing something to them, but they want to make sure they have it in that text so they can show it. I recognize that immediately when he was like, I was telling her don't bully me. See, I was telling her don't bully. It's like, I've seen that tactic. Unfortunately, I have to deal with that person. It's just one of those things. So she also tells him she has an upcoming birthday, and she was like, well, I didn't invite you because I'm inviting Mel, and I know that y'all have issues. I don't even know if he can be by Mel. Does anybody know? Didn't she have a restraining order against him? I don't even know if he can be by her. But he was like, oh, that's okay. Well, whatever. And so he gets in the confessional. Well, I don't want to be invited to no 60-year-old's birthday party anyway. And F that party. Dude, if you felt that way, you could just easily say, well, she didn't invite me and that's cool. You felt some kind of way about not being invited. I think he's one of these people where he just wants to be in the mix. It's like, that was just uncalled for. Like, oh, some 60-year-old. Like, dude, we're all aging. If you don't die, you're going to be 60-some years old too one day. You're in your 40s, so to someone 19, 20, you're old. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, when people call themselves roast to somebody for being old, that's just dumb as hell. Because unless you plan on killing yourself before you grow old, you're gonna be old one day too. That's dumb as hell. But anyway, wasn't much going on with that. So the Scott brothers meet up, which is Maurice and Marceau. Then Moses shows up, and they're pretty much he's doing the same spiel that Sunni's doing. Like, well, we were over, me and Destiny were over before I met Sunni, and woo woo woo, they're not really friends. And Maurice was just telling him, like, look, when you get on these reality shows, like Sunni was behind the scenes, she's in front of the camera now. You're gonna have to deal with these comments. You're gonna have to deal with these trolls. And my advice to anybody going into reality TV, don't read the comments. Like, I'm not even on TV and I don't read comments, because it's going to be somebody racist on there. It's going to be somebody that hates women on. It's going to be something on there that's going to make me mad. Like, stay away from comments. I ain't even going to lie. When I get notifications from YouTube about someone commenting on my channel, I get kind of like, all right, now what's this person going to say? Because I did have one person kind of, I don't know, they were trying to get smart and just be real miserable. And that was when that one video I had where it had over 1,000 views. And I said, but I prepared myself, because I said, you know, the more exposure you get, the more opinions you're going to get. So that's pretty much what they tried to tell him. He wasn't hearing it. I don't think he was letting it sink in, but you about to find out, because, you know, they taped these episodes like a few months before. So the season's airing. I bet you see them comments now. I bet you see them notifications and people following you just so they can hate on you. Like, I definitely would not. It takes a strong person to handle all that. But he wasn't really trying to hear it. But, I mean, at least they told him. And Marceau, when he was in confessional, he was saying, you know, I remember having the same conversation with Martell. And you saw what happened to that. Not that that contributed to the end of his marriage, but it's like, you need to understand that you now have thousands. I want to say Love and Marriage Huntsville is probably the most popular out of the Love and Marriage series, because you got DC, you got Detroit. I think that's it. I think it's just DC, Detroit, and Huntsville, but Huntsville was the first one, and it still has a very big fan base. So Moses, we shall see, honey. I'm not following him or Sunni, so I don't know. But so Stormy and Courtney meet up with Latricia and Ken. Latricia and Ken are gym rats. I think that's cool. You know, I aspire to be, maybe not a gym rat, but to definitely get in shape, be more active, because, you know, the older you get, your body is very less forgiving with certain foods and inactivity, right? So they get there and they're just talking about, Latricia pretty much goes over kind of what she did the last few episodes, where she was basically talking about her first marriage, you know, was bad, and how Ken, her boyfriend or fiance now, has kind of cooled her out, calmed her down. She also reveals that she is still legally married. Now, I've never been married, but for anybody that's been married and that's divorced now, is that really a long process? I heard it's a lot of money, because I always wonder why people just don't just, all right, we're not together anymore. I'm in a relationship, you're in a relationship, let's divorce. Like, what goes all into divorcing? Is it a long process? Because I would definitely want to cut the cords with whoever before I get with. And maybe that's why Ken hasn't proposed to her, because she's still legally married, you know. Let me go back. So while they were talking, like I said before, Latricia's voice, it cracks. It sounds like, you know how you have a cold and you're kind of like froggy. Her voice is kind of like that. So I kind of zone out a little bit, because I don't think my ears really like the sound of. So I didn't get a whole lot out of that scene. Just the important parts she's talking about. It wasn't really much going on. I think Courtney and Ken were pretty much talking about how they all ran in the same circles, and he just now, you know, met Latricia when he's known some people she knew or something like that. I like Stormy and Courtney. They're my favorite couple, and I would say right after them is Chris and Nell. So we move on. There's a lot of Martell in this episode. We move on to Chris and Martell. So Martell shows Chris the house he had built, I believe, and it looks real nice on the inside. I think they're about to put it on the market. And it's funny because when Chris came over, Martell had him put on these little hospital booties. They're blue. And it's funny because I have those same ones, because I'm really big on people either taking their shoes off at the door or putting on them little hospital booties. Like, there's so much stuff on the ground. There's pee and dog crap and dirt and all that. Don't think you're going to walk up in my house and put that all over my carpets. I'm very big on that. So I laughed a little bit, because I was like, yeah, he like me. That's probably the only thing we got in common. Put on them booties when you come across that threshold, okay? So we move on pretty quickly to him saying he needs to apologize to Nell for calling her a side chick, because when they were at the restaurant, she was bringing up the revenge porn thing. He was, you know, I think he's trying to slide the attention off of himself and calling her a side chick because Chris was legally married. Here's the thing, Chris, this is like the second or third time Chris has had to talk to Martell about respecting his wife. I feel like, Chris, maybe y'all need to, you know, fight. Just get it out the way. You probably just got to kick some ass, because you keep having to talk to this dude regarding your wife. I mean, just get it out the way, because he ain't listening. I think the last time he got on Martell because he was screaming at Nell about something. Of course, it had something to do with Melody. That's his button. You bring up Melody, he is just on and popping. So he brings up this revenge thing porn too. And when I tell you Martell was stuttering and backtracking, like, dude, you know you sent a very compromising picture. Because Chris was like, well, how they be able to put charges on you off of something that's not explicit, you know? And it's just crazy. Like, people like Martell kind of scare me, because, like, he seemed like one of them people, I know it's kind of drastic, can, like, kill somebody and justify it. You know? Like, it's not self-defense. But it's like, well, I killed him because such and such. Like, that's kind of scary to be around that. I'm going to go a little fast because I don't know how much time I have on this phone. The last scene, Destiny and Moses. I honestly feel like Moses just wants to be on TV. I kind of feel that way about Sunni too, because Destiny was like, we could have had this conversation, and I feel like they could have had it too. Why have it now with cameras? And he was basically, here's the thing with him, and I'm on Destiny with this. He's like, well, I got her number in June, started talking July, and Destiny was like, okay, but we were still texting and talking all the way up through August until I sent you the text saying I'm focusing on me. This is what I feel like, and I've had this done to me before. Somebody could have you around, but they're still, like, they don't want you, but they're actively searching for somebody else, but they keep you around as like a placeholder. I think that's what he was doing. Like, he didn't want to just totally break it off because he didn't know him and Sunni were going to be a thing. You get what I'm saying? That's what I feel like that is. Because he was stuttering and stammering just like Martell was when Chris was asking him about the revenge porn. So, you know what? I just don't see Moses and Sunni staying together long. It's just something about their relationship. I just don't see it lasting long. And I think Sunni is going to be asking for Destiny's forgiveness. Not everybody feels like she should get an apology. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at that whole dating this person while you're talking to this person, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I'm going to cut that off right there. I just wanted to say real quick, I am so hurt. Funky Dineva went down and had down to the bar at Huntsville this past weekend, and I was not able to go. I was so looking forward to go because y'all already know I was going to film it, tape it, and put it on here for y'all to see. He's my favorite all-time YouTuber. I've been following him for 10 years. So shout out to Funky Dineva, and maybe I can see him in another city. Huntsville, I was kind of hurt because Huntsville, that's my city. I used to live there. It's my second hometown, my adopted hometown. So it would have been more special for me to go to that one versus going to like Chicago or somewhere else to see him, right? But anyways, they look like they had a good time. So it's about 2 something in the morning. I'm going to lay it down, y'all. I am back. Cable is back. Internet is back. We are back in full effect. Shout out to my 63 subs. Please subscribe, like, and share. The same script. Y'all hear every video. You're going to hear it again, all right? As always, peace and blessings, y'all. Until next time.